start with kind of veterans tonight. You've got a lot of different contributions from various spots. What did you just like about that?
Yeah, the bench was great. Every guy who came off the bench played well for us. Gary was everywhere, defensively and on the boards, and 3 steals, kind of doing what Gary does. And I thought Andre was just brilliant tonight, vintage Andre, and knocking down a couple threes. But his defense is still just world class. But Otto was great. I mean, I keep going down the list. So huge contribution off the bench, and we needed it obviously with guys being out.
What's the word on Jonathan?
I don't know yet. The only thing I heard was his lower back tightened up early in the game, and I haven't had a chance to talk to the training staff yet.
Steve, what did you think about the game in general, and then what did you think about Draymond's performance?
I thought it was a typical return from the East Coast road trip, long road trip. First game back, time zone change, very little time to prepare. Day off yesterday that was spent flying back from Toronto, and turnaround and quick turnaround for a game. So it didn't surprise me that we were a little sluggish. I think it was no surprise that Draymond looked like he had the most energy out there, given that he came back a few days ago and had a chance to get some rest and be in his own bed. Same with Andre and Otto. So, all the guys you kind of expected who weren't on that Toronto leg of the trip. I think they all really played well. But Draymond, a triple-double, just everywhere defensively, quarterbacking the team. He's just having a phenomenal year.
On games like this, when you say, like you said, the team was kind of sluggish, it seems Draymond usually tries to find a way to sort of pull them out of that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I mean, he's our emotional leader, obviously, but he's just so good defensively. He finds a way to get a block shot, to get a steal, to make the rotation that screws up the offensive possession, and then all of a sudden we're getting out and running and getting some momentum. So he just has a knack for it. He's been doing it a long time, and I thought Steph had one of the great turnarounds, in the fourth quarter. He's got a knack for that. It's a really unique skill to be able to turn what frankly was a very poor game for him into a dominant fourth quarter. Very few people can flip a game like that in the midst of a struggle. It takes supreme confidence to be able to do that. And Steph's fourth quarter was fantastic.
2 questions for you, Steve. First, Damian Lee, what do you think about his confidence as a shooter? Because sometimes he'll have those off nights, but he still comes back like the same guy.
Yeah, he hit a little bit of a skid over some recent weeks. I think he missed games with the injury, and then he missed games when his son was born, and it felt like he sort of lost his rhythm a little bit, and he was trying to find it over the last couple of weeks. And I think that Toronto game actually helped him, even though we got blown out. I think just to see the ball go in a few times and get a lot of playing time, it looked like he found his rhythm again. And tonight he was great.
And second, what did you think about Eric Hausen's new assistant, DJ Green?
That DJ was really solid. His hustle up and down the sidelines was very impressive. And he's got a lot to learn, though. He's a young guy, and we just got to give him more reps.
Draymond said, though, you do foster a family environment. Why do you want to make sure children and families feel welcome?
It's. I still remember when my son Nick was a ball boy in Dallas one night when I was playing with the Spurs, and Pop invited him to do it, and we flew on the team plane and was the ball boy, and it's one of the highlights of my career. So I always remember that, and I always want to be able to do that for our players. I remember when Zaza's 2 boys came on an East Coast trip a few years back, and it was just amazing to watch them blossom, during the 10 days where they were scared to say anything, on day one, and then, calling out first bus on day 7 at the end of shoot-around, trying to get the guys to head back to the hotel. So it's always fun to have family involved. It lightens everything up, and I think guys really enjoy it.